What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Very happy to be here tonight. It is 7 o'clock here in Michigan. Just got back from the farm about an hour and a half ago or so. Nice productive day at the farm. Got a lot filmed for you guys to watch. It was a good day. It was a really good day. But I wanted to come on here today to talk about some stuff because, as you guys know, yesterday was launch day. And I wanted to first start off by saying thank you to everybody that made launch day as amazing and magical as it was. And I was really excited about it. I was really excited about how it turned out despite some of the setbacks. So I thought I would just kind of touch on some of the setbacks first, just kind of own them right off the bat and say, like, hey, I'm aware that there were some setbacks because some were out of our control. Some we probably could have controlled a little bit better. And one of those ones we could have controlled a little bit better was just the time thing, the timeline of things. You see, Cindy, my wife, does a great job of keeping us on track with an itinerary. I'm the one that's known to kind of go off script, if you haven't if you haven't caught on to that already. And so I try my best to stay on track, but hey, we definitely could have done a lot better. And so I actually read all the comments and I read a lot of your feedback. And one thing that you all, not everybody, but a good amount of you voiced was that it was when there was problems, it was evident that we were kind of a little bit frazzled. And to say that we weren't frazzled would obviously be not true. We were a little bit frazzled because everything we had planned for all of a sudden had to get shifted and moved and reoriented because the camera that we were using, we actually were using a professional camera that we hooked up to a live stream feed. And that camera decided to what happened essentially was that the firmware needed to be updated. Well, we didn't know that because the only time we ever really live stream with a camera is for launch day. And because of that, the firmware needed to be updated and it kept corrupting the live stream software. It would just shut it off. And so, lesson learned. So next year, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be testing this software out 2 days, 3 days prior to the actual live stream event, because that would have definitely resolved probably some pretty significant problems. That being said, though, it definitely went off very well despite the hiccups. I was very happy with the turnout. And I think a lot of you, as you're voicing, I see a ton of people saying they had a ton of fun. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. And so, so I wanted to just own that right off the bat. I also wanted to mention that I am aware that with the scheduling hiccups we had, that we ran into some issues with explaining all of the new varieties. That's what I'm coming on here tonight to talk to you guys about, because I am very excited about these new varieties. I'm very excited about them. I know you guys had a lot of questions about them. And you guys also had a lot of questions about the game, because to say that we didn't rush through certain portions to make sure that everything fit would again be untrue. We definitely did rush through a few sections of launch day because we had 4 skits that we wanted you guys to see. They were intended to be funny and fun, and I think a lot of you guys found them to be very enjoyable and entertaining. So if you haven't seen those, if you're just tuning in for the first time, you can go watch the launch day. And I will say that out of 10, I would give it like a 6.5 out of 10. The launch day that we had back in 2024, when the camera was working and all of our ducks were in a row, we still had a few hiccups there. But I would give that launch day probably like an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10, because it was just very, very seamless. We made some mistakes this time. And so I'm just, hey, you know what? No big deal, right? We move on, we move forward. I'm not going to dwell on that. But I am obviously aware of the fact that we definitely rushed through some parts, such as the new varieties, the game. We spent a little bit too much time on staff introductions, but obviously we have a bunch of staff, and I'm sorry, I like to talk up my staff. My team is amazing. They're the reason why we have so much amazing magic happening at My Gardener, and they really help me out a lot. So I couldn't necessarily say less, but I think we could have just maybe structured a little differently. But nevertheless, so that was that. But we heard amazing feedback from the games. So many of you said that the games were the best ever. The games were the best ever because they were fast. I heard that. They were simple to understand. I heard that, and they didn't take up. They didn't take up too much airtime. So they were fast to play, but they also allowed for more games, which I appreciate the feedback. That's awesome. I really do appreciate that. So that's good. Those are all good things. One thing that I wanted to do was to just spend the live stream basically talking about the new varieties. That's what I really wanted to focus on. Answer any questions you have, hang out for a little bit. Can't spend a ton of time tonight, obviously, because yesterday was our big launch day. Didn't see the kids then. And because there was so much feedback, I wanted to kind of tackle that tonight so that we could, kind of just get squared away, right? Get squared away. So, yeah, we'll do that. Gonna read a couple comments here first, and we got a boatload of people tuning in. Between Facebook and YouTube, there's 612 people. So to 612 people, welcome. And yeah, we'll touch on a couple questions here, or a couple comments, highlight a couple comments, and yeah, and we'll touch on that. So here, starting off here, Labna Alayham, is ruby red slipper tomato a cherry tomato? It's not a cherry tomato. It's actually known as a plum tomato. And a plum tomato it's in between a pear and a paste. It's bigger than a pear, smaller than a paste, and that's kind of how it's classified. It's a little more like a torpedo shaped tomato, and it is very, very tasty. It's very tasty. It's a very good plum tomato. Lots of people have voiced that they were bummed that they had work. We definitely hear you. We heard your feedback. We've had so many people ask if we could do it on a weekend. The sad reality is that, and we would have gone longer too, but the reality is that we started at 3. We told our team we would end at 6. As much as it's enjoyable for you guys to watch the launch day, it is something that they are signed up for, and obviously they enjoy it. Everyone there had a ton of fun, but at 6 o'clock they haven't eaten dinner and they haven't seen their family, and so we really want to be cognizant of that and just kind of have an end time, because otherwise, again, me, I'll go all night if I don't have an end time. And so obviously I apologize for the time frame, but it occurs during work hours generally, because we have our staff there. If we didn't have our staff, there would be no one to talk up and to give credit to. But we also would be able to go anytime, anywhere. So there's pros and cons. Let's see. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Shelby, I appreciate that feedback. Absolutely. I think everyone loves to see the team get recognized, but how we will go about it in the future is we are going to, because as we continue to grow and as the team expands, it kind of gets difficult to acknowledge everyone. So what we're really going to do is just kind of acknowledge. We're going to be doing like basically like departments, if you will. So we're going to have order fulfillment, we're going to have shipping and receiving, warehouse, customer service. We're gonna have all those sections so you can kind of see each component rather than each individual person, because within that they all everyone shines. Otherwise, why would we work with them if they didn't shine? So we're going to tweak things next year for sure for that, Shelby, but I appreciate that feedback. That's definitely really great. Oh, yeah, Kim, you mean you're not perfect? No, I'm far from perfect. Oh boy, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. It's okay to make mistakes, right? I think oftentimes, oh goodness, I think oftentimes we're way too hard on ourselves, you guys. We're way too hard on ourselves. And so yeah, no, it's okay to be human. It is okay to make mistakes, but it's also the right thing to do if you acknowledge that there was mistakes made to own them. That's it's okay to make mistakes. It's just you got to own them when you do make them. So, yeah, so definitely going to address this question here from Misty Carter. This is definitely a talking about the new varieties because this will definitely be the last time that this gets brought up. This is not going to be talked about anymore. There's been enough discussion about the new tomato varieties, and we've talked about it several times. So I'm going to give Misty her spotlight here to kind of just address this because this is something that came up during the live stream quite a bit. And so there you go, Misty. There's your spotlight. So the reason why, and no, Misty, your comment did not get removed about Emerald City and Ruby Slippers. We are aware that there are heirloom varieties that exist. The idea behind heirloom is that it's considered kind of open source. If you are producing open pollinated and heirloom varieties, there is no copyright attached to a name. And primarily, I mean, heck, look at the world of apples. Right? I got my Apple Atlas up there. It's A through Z. And you will find that anytime you have an heirloom, there have been so many throughout the years, and still are more, that when you find a name that is easily identifiable, that looks like something, the name fits. And the tomatoes that we have, that they are exclusive to us, we name because they fit. Now, as Misty has said, Karen Oliver does have a variety called Ruby Slippers. It's not the same as Ruby Red Slippers, right? Ruby Slippers and Ruby Red Slippers, they look vastly different. They look completely different, in fact, from each other. So not only from a photo to photo base, you can easily tell there's no confusion there, but also Karen Oliver doesn't own the copyright to a name of an heirloom tomato. An heirloom tomato is just given an heirloom name. That's it. It's just a placeholder. There's no copyright involved because there's no patent involved. And so, Misty, that's kind of where there's a very fine line, is that we're not copywriting anything. And if you want to call something a tomato name, you can as well. There's no brand confusion there. And there never should be because they look totally different. As far as Emerald City goes, Emerald City is the one that Karen Oliver has produced, is known as Emerald City Dwarf. Our tomato is not dwarf. And no longer, we don't have dwarf in the name either. So when you look at Emerald City Dwarf versus Emerald City, they're totally different. So this is the last time we're going to be talking about the Karen Oliver drama. There's no drama needed because the only people that are really up in arms about this are the heirloom tomato growing fanatics that grow tomatoes that people breed. There's pepper communities as well. And I love that. I love the passion behind something, but I am not going to give any more airtime for something that is completely irrelevant. If you look at beefsteak, the person who named beefsteak, you've got red beefsteak, yellow beefsteak, you've got black beefsteak, you've got striped beefsteak. I don't think they're offended that it's a beefsteak. If you look at aroma, you've got a Martino's Roma, you've got aroma, you've got a Roma VF, you've got but there's so many names that have crossover. The Roma, it's just a Roma. No one's offended by the name Roma, but it's a Roma-esque tomato. And when you have a tomato that looks like a Ruby Red Slipper, I'm going to call it Ruby Red Slipper. So that is really what it comes down to. There is no there's no shade being thrown at any breeder because we partnered with a breeder actually. His name's Michael. He lives in Kentucky and he's a great guy. He's been breeding tomatoes for over 30 years. And so Michael, when he produced these tomatoes, he produces them with the sole intent of bringing them to market for mass production. And oftentimes you have tomatoes that don't fit mass production criteria. And in order to fund research and development, what Michael does is he actually will sell off varieties that don't meet his criteria that are still very cool and very marketable. And so people like me, Am I Gardener, can purchase them and basically have exclusive distribution rights over those varieties. So there's no copyright, there's no patent infringement, there's nothing at all involved. They're truly heirloom varieties and they can be given a name that is either identical or similar. And while we do try to keep names dissimilar to prevent confusion, when the fruits are vastly different, the plants are vastly different, and the names are somewhat different, even if they share same names, it's irrelevant. So, yeah. So, anyways, that's all the airtime that's going to get. Anyways, I thought we'd talk about some new varieties. You guys can see the new varieties we have over at Am I Gardener. I'm really excited about them because, there are so many amazing varieties that we have that are exclusive to Am I Gardener. And then we also have a lot of varieties that are new that we took upon ourselves to grow because we didn't have a grower for them. And so I think we definitely think we can touch on those. Yeah. So this is a great question here, Zach. So I'm going to touch on this question too, because this is a good question, came up a lot. Why are the prices higher on some seed types? So let's delve into this. Let's check this out here. So we're gonna go and we're gonna check this out here because this is a very important question to answer here. So you've got the new tomato varieties, and then you have the exclusive tomato varieties. So exclusive would be Royal Paste. This is exclusive to us. You won't find this variety anywhere else. We actually got this from Michael. He's a plant breeder. He's been doing it for over 30 years. And he lives here in the United States. So, we contacted Michael. Actually, he contacted us and got in touch. And he sent us some seeds and said, if you like how these grow, we'd love to sell you the varieties because we have a seed shop. And Michael's a great guy. I've had a great relationship with him. I've known him for about 4 years now. And so we have Royal Paste. And Royal Paste is it's a incredible paste tomato. It is huge. I mean, they are really big. The picture doesn't really do a lot of justice for the size, but that's a pizza peel. That is a pizza peel that you are seeing. And that's a really big tomato. So it's got generally the tomato weighs about 5 to 6 ounces, but we put 4 to 6 because some of the tomatoes can run on the slightly smaller side. But from a hollow insided, very dry, meaty paste tomato, there is not going to be a better paste tomato, in my opinion. We still are going to grow Federally. We're still going to grow San Marzano. We're still going to grow Roma. They are not being replaced by any stretch of the imagination. But the Royal Paste is royal for a reason. It is the king of the garden when it comes to paste tomatoes. And we absolutely have it in we're going to have it in our garden every single year. Let's talk about Indigo Pear, because I don't want to skip past this. This is a non-exclusive variety. This is out there. So I think that's another thing to point out as well, is that when we say new, whenever we said new in the past, there was never any issue whatsoever. But now, when we say new, we have some people that say, that's not new, that's been out there before. Like the people that had some issues with the naming of tomatoes that we gave. And those tomatoes that have been out there, we don't have in the store yet. And so we will acquire them from whether it be another seed shop, whether it be the breeder themselves, any which way. We get the seeds, we grow them, and we save the seeds from them, because that is how seeds come to market. Either we have a grower or we grow them ourselves. We don't have a seed fairy that can just sprinkle new tomato varieties that we want to carry into our seed shop. We have to either have someone grow them or we grow them. And if they are either too expensive to have someone grow or no one is growing them, that's when we take it upon ourselves to do so. And so, so the indigo pear drops is an amazingly productive pear tomato. It is a purple, yellow, bicolored pear tomato. It is as productive gets. It is very low acid. It is such a good tasting tomato. And honestly, I mean, here's the description. It's an indeterminate, so you can see that. But it's a small but mighty producer. I actually wrote these descriptions, by the way, so this is not some ChatGPT mumbo jumbo. This is my words, because I've actually grown these and tasted these tomatoes. And that's really what sets us apart from a lot of other seed shops, is that when you have a variety in the seed shop, we have grown it at least one time as a standard protocol to know how it tastes, how it grows, how big it gets, how disease resistant it is, how drought tolerant, the attributes. We need to know what we're talking about. Otherwise, you're just blowing smoke. You're just regurgitating from somebody else, which some may think is fine. I don't think that's fine. So, yeah. So I definitely, definitely think that it's super important to know what you're talking about, at least nowadays. And so, so one plant can easily produce the needs of a small family. We grew on our farm, we grew 25 plants. And from 25 plants, we probably could have done with 5 or 6. So that's how many tomatoes it produced. It was abundant. And so, yeah, it was incredible. Now you're probably noticing, okay? So this tomato, indigo pear drops, is $4. And an exclusive MI Gardner tomato is $4. Why is that? Well, it's because we don't have the ability to produce seed at scale. And when we can produce tomato seed at scale, that price should come down considerably. But they are new, 1. They are very rare, 2. And they were produced by us on a smaller scale. And because of that, we don't have the ability to reach out to one of our growers and say, hey, do you have any in cold storage? Because a lot of times we'll do that. A grower will grow, let's say, 6 to 7, maybe 8 ounces of a tomato seed variety. We might buy 4 ounces of it. And then they have 4 ounces left in their cold storage that they may sell to another seed shop. They may sell directly, but we reach out to them and say, we want 4 ounces. It's great. If we sell out, we simply go back to them and say, hey, do you have any more? They say, yeah, we got 4 ounces more. You didn't buy the 4 ounces that we had, so you can buy them now. And we get 4 more ounces and it's no problem. The only problem is when they're all gone, then it's fine. But when you grow them yourselves, what you have is what you have, and you're not getting any more. And we wanted to ensure that everyone that wanted to try these new varieties could try them. And because the cost to produce them is so high, that warrants a higher price, plain and simple. These tomatoes are very, 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 very expensive to produce. From planting them in the early spring, to nurturing them in the greenhouse, to planting them out in the field, the plastic that goes over top that suppresses weeds, to the fertilizer. We use Trifecta Plus, and Trifecta Plus is a premium fertilizer. We use Trifecta Plus. The staking, the pruning, the harvesting, the crushing, the fermenting, the drying, the sorting, the packing. That's a human doing all those steps. We don't have robots. And because of that, the cost gets very expensive. It does. Not to mention watering. Oh, forgot that. we hand water all of our plants because hooking them up to drip is not a good way to grow large scale tomatoes, because well, sorry, it's not a good way to grow small scale tomatoes because each tomato has different needs. Some tomatoes like it drier, some tomatoes like it wetter. And if you just put them on drip, they're all getting the same. And that's a problem. So we hand water every single one of our tomatoes. And that's a lot of tomatoes. We had approximately 750 tomato plants that we grew this year at the farm. And so because it's so labor intensive, that's but you'll also notice it's still cheaper than most seed shops. Still cheaper than most seed shops. There are seed shops selling these rare, this caliber of tomato for $5, $6, $8 for similar tomatoes. So it's a great price in my opinion. And so I don't I don't know what to say about the price other than in time the price is going to come down. But if you want to take advantage of it now, the price is $4. It just is. We, I mean, each variety probably costs us in the ballpark of $800 to $1,200 to produce, and that's before we even sell a single seed. So we need to obviously recoup that because otherwise we'll be out of business. So yeah. All right. Let's talk about some more tomato varieties here. Let's bada bing, bada boom, get that thrown up there. Do you prefer, okay, guys, sorry. Do you prefer to see me react to the picture or do you want to see the picture bigger? Let me know real quick. do you want to see me or do you want to see the the page bigger? Both? Okay. All right. You guys want to see both? Okay. So you want to see both. All righty. Okay. So up next is the Blackout Roma. The Blackout Roma is a paste tomato. It is slightly late to ripen, but do not be afraid. We had, oh my gosh, we had such an abundant harvest. Now these are a determinate. They all ripen at the same time, which is great, but they are black as night when they are first on the plant. They are pitch black. It is the coolest looking tomato ever. They're pitch black. Then they start to get these like lighter green, bottoms, and then that slowly transitions to more of this like almost like fiery inferno red purple, which is just so beautiful. But the Blackout Roma got its name because it's like they're so dark when they're first on the plant. They won't be ripe when they're that dark, but just before they start to blush, they are soft to the touch and still pitch black. I mean, the picture does not do justice just to how black they are. The underside is so dark. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I love them. They're a determinate. You're going to get them all at once. They're a late ripener, so be patient. Be patient. But it is worth it. It's worth it. They're red interior as well, so they do hold a red color inside. Just because the skin is black does not make the interior black. All right. Tangerine Crim. Tangerine Crim. Where do I start? Tangerine Crim holds a very special place in my heart because Tangerine Crim is single-handedly the sweetest tomato I've ever had in my entire human existence. And that's not blowing smoke. That is not blowing smoke. But it has a citrusy tangerine undertone to it. It's not like a acidic, ooh, I'm gonna get canker sores if I eat too many of these. It's like you bit into a very sweet almost like a clementine, like a one of those cutie oranges, a very sweet cutie orange. It is the only cherry tomato that I would give a 10 out of 10 seal of approval for anyone that likes tomato. I mean, it is top. There's nothing better. I even made the claim, if you don't like this tomato, you just don't like tomatoes. Now, if you like a tomato that's more acidic, if you were looking for that, this tomato is not that. This tomato tastes like a dream come true for a tomato that champagne bubbles, okay, champagne bubbles. Champagne Bubbles held this title for probably 6 years. This is still to this day in every single one of our gardens. We do not grow a garden without champagne bubbles, and we will continue to grow champagne bubbles forever. It is so good. It is so good with a capital S in so and a capital G in good. It is freaking amazing. But that was until I had the Tangerine Grim. The Tangerine Grim is a lot larger than Champagne Bubbles. It was actually a cross. It's an indeterminate, by the way. It was a cross between a Sun Gold and a Black Crim. Very unique plant cross. And it has this like rusty orange with this ever so slight little touch of purple streaking there that you can see. And it is beautiful. Is it sweeter than Sun Gold? Is it sweeter than Sun Gold? 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. If it's not sweeter than Sun Gold, write in, I'll give you your money back. Promise. That's my guarantee to you. If it's not sweeter than Sun Gold, if you don't like it more than Sun Gold's, Sun Sugar, Sun Gold, Sun Ray, Sweet 100, I don't care what you put it up against. It is sweeter than all of them. All of them. Under the right growing conditions. If you treat it like crap, it's going to taste subpar. But if you give it good growing conditions and let it ripen on the plant and just let it chill out till it's fully ripe, this tomato is unrivaled as the best tomato I've ever had in my entire life. Plain and simple. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, they are open pollinated. So they are open pollinated. You can save them from year to year. So that classifies as that. Let's see. Let's keep moving on here. I want to get through these quickly here, as quick as it can be. Bubblegum centiflora. So we had a lot of questions about bubblegum centiflora. Bubblegum centiflora is a centiflora variety, and that means it is Latin for 100 blossoms. Now, a centiflora variety will produce huge blooms. Let's see here. So you have the red centiflora. The red centiflora is a red variety of this strain, and this variety here came from a yellow centiflora. The cross was a yellow centiflora, and Michael, our plant breeder that we work with, does not disclose always the different crosses that he uses to get to the tomato that he yields, or like that he has, because there's oftentimes with these plant breeders, there's really big money in producing a variety that you can essentially, he sells a lot to really large farmers, really large. He sells tomatoes to farmers that grow for supermarket production. So like those like little clamshell containers that you see, he sells, those are tomato. A lot of those tomatoes that you've seen in the markets have actually come from his breeding programs, and he's sold those seeds off to other larger growers that then can sell the seeds to the farmers. He kind of like, he's the originator, and then there's a middleman, and then the middleman, and then than the people that sell it to the grocery store. And so we don't always know everything about all these tomatoes, but what I do know is it does come from a yellow centiflora, and I imagine there's probably some type of aroma or paste involved in this cross here. But what I do know is that it's an heirloom. It can be saved from year after year, and it is not sweet. I'm letting you know right now, it is not sweet. This is not a sweet tomato, and it's not an acidic tomato. It makes it very, very unique. It puts it in a category that I've never quite had before because the skin of it tastes like Big League Chew. Have you ever had Big League Chew? Who's had? Has anyone in the chat had Big League Chew? Because Big League Chew has this undeniable bubblegummy taste to it that the skin of this tomato gives off. And yeah, August, yeah, like a decade ago, yes, we all played t-ball and baseball and softball. And Big League Chew was like the gum of choice as a kid. You know, like the little shreds is like tobacco, but for kids. Anyways, moving on. So, anyways, please don't send letters. This is a family-friendly show, always has been. And so it has that flavor. It's just a very unique tomato, and it yields. There's actually oftentimes more foliage than there is, or more fruit than there is foliage on a centiflora variety tomato. It was so heavy that the plants were completely breaking. We actually had to stick supports in and hold the trusses up because they were breaking the trusses. There were so many tomatoes. Bountilicious. Bountilicious is another MI Gardner. Oh, sorry. Hold on 1 second. So if you're following along, so Indigo Pear Drops is a known variety, not an MI Gardner exclusive. Royal Paste is an MI Gardner exclusive. Blackout Roma is an MI Gardner exclusive. Tangerine Crim is an MI Gardner exclusive. Bubblegum Centiflora is an MI Gardner exclusive. Bountilicious is an MI Gardner exclusive. To be clear, because there's new tomato varieties that are not new to the tomato world. Tomato growing people that love to grow heirloom tomatoes, this one's for you. They are new to the tomato world. Or sorry, they're not new to the tomato world. They're just new to MI Gardner. Bountilicious is both. It's new to the tomato world and new to MI Gardner. So this variety here, when it comes to a slicing tomato, like as in like 4 to 6 ounces or so, maybe like 6 to 7 at most, right? Let's push it 6 to 7, 4 to 7 ounces. I'd say is like the pretty good range. This tomato is unreal. The production on this was unfathomable. We grew 60 pounds of tomatoes from just 2 plants in our trial garden. Just 2 plants. 60 pounds. 2 plants. That's an average of 30 pounds per plant. Is that not crazy or what? So again here, okay, we're gonna highlight this because this is what we already talked about. Kenny Pridemore, yes, buddy. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna let you down gently here. So $1 a pack is absurd. We were the cheapest in town, and we were barely profitable at $1 a pack. We did that because we wanted to gain a customer base, and we did $1 a pack for about 8 years. And then in 2018, we decided that was unsustainable because $1 a pack was not being done by anybody else. We switched to $2 a pack, which was actually sustainable. We've been very open about the fact we only have 50% margins, right? So that means that 50% of our cost goes into the cost of producing the product. That's before anyone else touches it. The cost to produce it, the cost to buy it, the cost to just the physical product is 50% of the overall sale cost of the product. Now, that is a very normal margin for retail. So, plain and simple. The reason why they're $4 is because they are exclusive varieties that are very rare. The first year we're offering them. And because we took a poll. If you follow us on Facebook, please go do that. Because if you follow us on Facebook, you'll find out that we asked everybody. We said, if you'd like to buy 5 seeds for $2, that's that's what it's going to take. 5 seeds for $2. Or would you like to get 10 seeds for $4? And unanimously, 98% of respondents said they wanted 10 seeds for $4. It was less packaging, and we still had the same minimum packet. You can only buy 2 of these packets per person because of limited quantity. And so that's why there's $4. So when you make a comment like, I guess the farm is costing more than you thought it would, that's a very arrogant comment. And if you comment like that again, I'm going to block you. Plain and simple. And I think everyone else would appreciate that. So please sit there and at least participate and be kind, because everyone else is having a great time. So that's the Bountylicious tomato. It is the most productive tomato. It's the most productive tomato ever. When it comes to a slicing tomato, it's absolutely incredible. And when you have a very productive slicing tomato, oftentimes what you sacrifice is flavor. And in my experience, that's been the case. That's not the case with Bountylicious. It is so balanced in its acidity and its sweetness. I have not found a more balanced tomato. It's not all sweet. It's just balanced. It tastes like a can of tomato soup. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a can of tomato soup. It is so good and it's so productive. It is like unbelievable how good it is. And so when it comes to just like a phenomenal tomato that is balanced in flavor and productive as heck, Bountylicious is going to be in our garden every single year. It just will be. Next, Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter. Now, why is it called Mad Hatter? It is because it looks like a black top hat. These plants are a determinant. They're not a dwarf, but they're more like a patio-sized tomato. A patio tomato is a self-supporting plant. It's a little bit larger than a patio tomato. They'll get about 2.5 to 3 feet tall, but they put all their fruit, as wild as this sounds, all their fruit is on the top, probably 30% of the plant. Top 30%. And they are black as night gets. And that gives it the appearance that it's a top hat. It's like a black top hat. And so the name Mad Hatter comes from, I guess back in the day, they would use and you guys probably have heard this before, but the chemical process that they used when they were making making top hats would cause people to become kind of euphoric or kind of mad, right? Mad, crazy, right? And so no, it does not contain any mercury. And so that's how the name kind of came around. Yes, mercury. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I knew loosely how the origin of Mad Hatter came around, but it is it's like a black top hat on this tomato. Now it is a determinant. And that means you're going to get most of your tomatoes all at once, but they are a small to medium-sized slicing tomato. And it is absolutely so unique when it comes to the flavor. I see here, right here. What is the taste? What is the taste? The taste is slightly smoky. It's very sweet. It is very sweet, like all black tomatoes. When they're fully ripe, they take on a slight smoky taste. Now, please do not let that dissuade you. When I say a smoky taste, it'd be the equivalent of like the type of smoky that I envision is like there's a type of smoky like someone is smoking a cigar right in front of your face and just goes, or you're like burning stumps or you're burning leaves and it's just like, yuck, smoke. But then you notice that like there's a smoke, there's a smokiness like you're, I don't know how to describe it, like a very, very subtle char, very subtle char. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like smoke like you think like a bonfire or like choking you out. It's not like that. Everyone that's ever tried it has said that there's a subtle hint of a smokiness, but it's almost like a poblano, right? Okay, I guess that's the best way I could put it. Poblano peppers have a slight smokiness to them, and it just adds this wonderful flavor that kind of just rounds off the taste. It's so good, and it's low acid, it's sweet with that slight hint of smokiness. It's just awesome. It's really, really great. It's not like smoked paprika, Beth. Smoked paprika is like smoky. It's like real smoky. It's just like a hint of smokiness, and I don't quite know. It's you know it when you taste it. Is the best way I can put it. It is not overwhelming. It is not like acrid. It's just got this little hint of smokiness to it that kind of like a fire roasted tomato, kind of like a fire roasted tomato, but even a fire roasted tomato still has more smoke than this would have. It's just it just kind of rounds off the flavor, kind of gives it a good balanced, almost like a balanced umami taste, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, you'll definitely know it when you taste it. Jennifer, you're 100% right. It is. You can't quite describe it because it's like describing the smokiness of a poblano. Chat, let me know. Facebook, YouTube, um, let me know when you the poblano taste. Like, how would you even classify a poblano smokiness? Because there's some other purple tomatoes that we'll get into that kind of share that same smoky taste. And when people hear smoky, they're like, "Why that can't be for me. I don't like smoky things." And like, no, 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 no. It's not that kind of smokiness. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of earthy, maybe. Yeah, growing me. Yeah, it's kind of earthy. Maybe um mesquite. No, because it's not like you put it in a smoker. It's just kind of got like a. I just yeah, it's okay. It's like when if you boiled chicken and you grilled chicken. You know what I mean? Like a tomato is like boiled chicken. It can be good depending on how you and then you get grilled chicken. And it's like, okay, all right, that's grilled. It's got a grilled taste, and I don't know what it is about it, but you can tell it's grilled even if it's frozen in a bag from the store. You can tell if it's been grilled. It's just I don't know how to describe it. Moving on. It's amazing. All right. Solar eclipse. Now we talked about solar eclipse on the launch party, and solar eclipse is really special because it is a very, very, very rare cross here. So this solar eclipse here, you don't usually get a yellow purple transitioning tomato, let alone a very productive slicing tomato. This is super, super productive. It is indeterminate, so it produces tomatoes all season long. Now, the tomatoes are about 4 to 6 ounces, as you can see. They start out deep purple. And here's the amazing part. You guys, this is like Plant Geek to the max here. When you transition from, so when the tomatoes like purple, starts out like almost blackish purple. As it starts to ripen, any part of the tomato that is blocked, any part of the tomato that is blocked stays or it turns yellow. The rest of it The rest of it stays purple. It's like the opposite of what you'd think. You'd think the part that touches the sunlight would kind of turn yellow, right? It's the part that is blocked by the sun that turns color. It's the most mind-blowingly, radically cool tomato I've ever grown in my entire life. Very sweet, very low acid. Doesn't have as much of that smoky flavor. It's real sweet. It's like probably top 10 sweetest tomatoes I've ever had. It's that good. But it is so unique. And the reason why I call it solar eclipse is because the part that's in the dark, right? Dark, like a solar eclipse, the moon is blocking the sun, and then all of a sudden this beautiful like sun blast comes out from behind behind the moon. If you've never seen a solar eclipse, do it. It was like probably one of the most. I mean, I'm almost considering traveling to Spain to watch the one in 2027. Let me know if you're also going to be there, because I'm telling you what, I'm looking at tickets right now because we saw the one down in Ohio 2 or 3 years ago. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I mean, it just took my breath away. It was about as amazing as anything I've ever seen in my entire life. And this tomato that's reminiscent of that, right? So question here is super important here. So Jennifer asks, how are crossed tomatoes considered heirloom tomatoes? Crossed tomatoes can be considered heirloom when they're grown long enough. So it's a very valid question, Jennifer. These are all heirloom and open pollinated varieties, but they have been stabilized. So you have first generation, and the first generation has a high likelihood of reverting back to the parent. You save seeds from those tomatoes from the traits you like, and then you have second generation. They still have a decent likelihood of reverting back to one of the parents, the two parents that originate, or even sometimes 3 or 4 tomatoes that yielded that cross. They want to show traits of those tomatoes. Third generation, you're getting a little more stabilized, but you still have some reversion back to those parents, to the parentage. Fourth generation, slightly less. Fifth generation, even less. And generally, it's said that by the 6th or 7th generation, you have what is considered a stable genetic makeup, meaning that the likelihood of reverting back to the parent it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. And in a lot of ways, it's a kind of a probabilities game, really what it comes down to. When you first start off and you make a cross, you save the seeds from that cross, and you're going to have about 25% that will revert back to one parent. 25% of it will revert back to the other parent, and then you have about 50% that will stay. And sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, depending on what trait is dominant or whatever. But you have that trait. But as you go, it's going to be like significantly less and significantly less and significantly less, to the point where you just have less and less and less chances of reverting back to the parent. So that's basically how, over time, over about 6 to 7, 8 years, or I should say generations, of growing and saving, growing and saving, growing and saving, and selecting the ones you want and keeping that going, then that starts to stabilize. Good question, Josh. A lot of you have asked this. Are these tomato seeds only new to Emma? Are the only new Emma Gardner seeds for 2026? Just curious if I'm missing out on anything else new. So we have one new pepper. There is a chance we're going to have some new nasturtiums, not right now, but later on. There is a chance we are going to have a couple pumpkins that are new, but not right now. There's also a chance we're going to have a melon or two, but not right now. Our main focus, and I appreciate the question, our main focus as we kind of mature as a seed company is realizing that we can't be something for everybody. And when we kind of hit that 750 to 800 variety mark, it gets incredibly challenging to not only source new seed that we haven't had yet, but also it gets very challenging to source all the seeds we've ever carried. So what you'll find is that we will take underperforming varieties and we'll basically kind of kick them to the curb. As sad as that sounds, because ultimately, if we only have so much space, we only have so many resources, we can't just keep carrying things endlessly. And so ultimately, the things that don't perform as well, even if they're phenomenal varieties, they're gone. We say, okay, we're going to phase them out, and we're going to find something new, or we're just going to be happy with what we have. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Jennifer, you're right. Your explanation about cross tomatoes also explains why new tomato varieties are more expensive, many years to get stable fruits. Absolutely. Here's a fun fact for you. So, and this is not, I'm gonna go full screen here for a second here, just because I want to drive this point home. Right. This is not a burden that you all have to carry, but it's a reality that we need to cover the cost of production. The cost of the variety covers the cost of the production. Throw a number out that you think it cost us just to purchase the distribution rights for this tomato. Now, mind you, this is a research firm, a research farm company. It's like a three-man show. It's a small company, small farm. I don't really know how I classify it. Michael's a good guy, but I don't think he'd want to be called a firm. I think it's a little too corporate for him. But when he sells tomatoes, he uses the money to fund future research and development of new varieties. And so when we buy them, we buy the exclusive rights to distribute them. How much do you think it costs us to buy those distribution rights? Throw out a number. Oh, that was a little high, Leanne. That was a little high. Okay, so Leanne started the bidding out at $10,000, which is a little high. Thank goodness it's not that much. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? All right. Oh, Jennifer's getting pretty close. But it's a little higher than that. If $5,000 shocks you, at least we've set the bar low and high. I'll give you guys the answer. Just to buy the distribution rights before we grow it, before anything, it costs us $6,000. $6,000 to have the distribution rights for these tomatoes. And that gives us the ability to name them what we want as well. We buy the rights to distribute the seeds. We buy all the seeds that they have. 100% of their seed stock becomes ours. We then grow it, and it's on us to grow it correctly. It's like it has left their nest. It is now our expense. And so you can't, furthermore, it's why we can't have seeds we can't have 25 seeds for $2. It's so expensive that most people have no idea how expensive it is. So when you're looking, again, I'm all about full transparency here. Why wouldn't I be? But when you're looking, you're looking at this, and this is just the reality of offering something cool and amazing. It's a risk that we take. You got $6,000, you got $12,000, you got $18,000, you've got $24,000, $30,000, $36,000, you've got $42,000, $48,000. Valiant's not a new exclusive variety. You've got 54,000. You've got 60,000. You've got 66,000. You've got 72,000. You've got 80,000. No, 72, 78,000. Yes, I think what you get my point. I don't need to go on further. It's makes someone's eyes water. But as a business, we've been in business for 16 years and we understand that the cost of doing business is the cost of doing business. And we grow these varieties knowing that you guys are going to love the flippin' crap out of them. Because when you love them over time, not we're not expecting to break even on year one. Trust me, it's not the case. That's not happening. It just is impossible. But over the course of 5 to 6 years, I'm hoping that the bet pays off, and I'm hoping that we can recoup that cost over the next 5 to 7 years. That's the goal. It's a long term plan. It's no different than it's no different than investing in yourself. That's what we're doing with these new varieties. Um, so yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It is just one of those things. So let's talk about some more new varieties here. Let's keep going here. We got curtain call. Curtain call is a determinate. Sorry, it's an indeterminate. My bad. It's an indeterminate. When we grew it, it grew the most amazingly thick clusters of tomatoes. The fruit set on them was just astounding. It looked like a black curtain, and that's how it got its name. Now, similarly to Mad Hatter, this is like the indeterminate version of Mad Hatter and the less compact, slightly higher yielding version of Mad Hatter. Slightly larger fruits as well, slightly larger. Mad Hatter has fruits that are around 4 to 5 ounces. These are 4 to 6, sometimes even a touch larger than that. And they have just the most amazing, they look kind of like I kind of said it kind of looks like a crackling bonfire against a night sky. It's just wow, it's beautiful. But it's the reason why I call it curtain call is because when they're not ripe fully, they look like these black curtains. They're just amazing, absolutely amazing. I also realized I was not showing you what it looked like. Sorry about that. There we go. Boom. That is curtain call there. My bad. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for chiming in so you couldn't see the tomato. I was looking at my screen. No, looking at my bad. Yes, thank you for doing the math. Thank you, classic rock lover. That's a lot of packs just to break even, and that's why, and that's at $4 a pack. That's exactly my point. Absolutely. Yeah, so it's just it's an investment in the future. All righty. So that's curtain call. That is such a phenomenal one, and that's an Emma Gardner exclusive, obviously. You have Valiant. Now, Valiant was sent to us by a viewer of the show, and sent us this can of vintage tomato seeds from like 1972. It was sealed. The thing was sealed. It said hermetically sealed. It was Valiant. And Valiant's out there. You can find Valiant seeds for sale. But what's remarkable about these is that they grew from seeds from 1972, and they had relatively phenomenal germination. We had about 18% germination rate from these seeds. And what's also unique is when we're talking about heirlooms, you go back to the topic of how heirlooms sometimes they might get tainted. What if they get cross-pollinated? What if over time the genes kind of slightly mutate and they change or they adapt to a climate? And then over the course of, what would that be, from 72 to 2025, it'd be like 53 years, I think 53 years. Over the course of 53 years, we have a tomato that's came out of a time capsule. It came out of a time capsule, and 53 years of whoopsie, we mixed up the seed, or whoopsie, we didn't protect against cross-pollination, or whoopsie, we didn't water our plants, and so over time they adapted to the drier conditions, and they got a little smaller. Maybe they're a little more prone to cracking or whatever. This is right out of right out of a time capsule. These things were beautiful. They're going to be in our garden every single year. We'd be crazy not to grow them every single year. They were so beautiful. Semi-determinate. The plant stayed kind of small. The fruits ripened throughout the season. A lot ripened at the same time, but they kind of staggered, which was awesome. These fruits were beautiful. Beautiful, you guys. Oh my gosh. I've never seen a more crack-resistant variety of tomato. Hefty and beautiful with the most, might I add, like soft red color. Soft red. It just reminded me, and the flavor is like classic tomato, acid forward, rich. It's like a canning tomato, but don't call it a canning tomato because it'd be a bit of a knock. It's like it's like the Amish tomatoes that my grandma would bring home when I was a kid. And she's like, we're gonna can up some tomatoes, or she'd go to the farmer's market. I'm looking for a good canning tomato. This tomato tasted like my childhood. It is just it is the quintessential savory, umami, balanced tomato flavor tomato. They do look gorgeous. Yeah. North Star Prep Center, thank you, by the way. Thank you for adminning. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Love that you're here. I've seen your comments pop up a few times, but I just want to acknowledge. Thank you so much. And North Star Prep Center they're phenomenal people. You got to go check out their channel and definitely give them a little bit of love. But yeah, they're great people, and they're moderating. So thank you so much for keeping the riffraff out. But they are so gorgeous. They are absolutely gorgeous. Yes, thank you so much for reminding everybody. Please like, please like the video. Help spread the video around. Please like and also share on your pages. If you're watching on Facebook, we're live streaming here on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. If you're watching live on Facebook, share, please. Share with your friends, share with your family. I'd love more people to know about these tomato varieties, the new varieties that we're carrying, and the amazing things that we're doing, because we're doing things that no one else is doing. You know, we're taking on the risk, and we're doing this ourselves. It's like, man, it's awesome. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your participation. Commenting helps the algorithm. Liking helps the algorithm, and also subscribing if you've not yet subscribed. That also helps the algorithm as well. So subscribe as well. So that's Valiant. Lucid Gem, not an MI Gardner exclusive variety. Not an MI Gardner exclusive variety. Lucid Gem has been out there. It is one that I've wanted to add to our catalog for a long time. And Lucid Gem is like, it's crack resistant. It is low acid, very sweet, and big, like nice size. 6 to 8 ounces, sometimes even larger than that. They are so disease resistant. When I say disease resistance, I'm saying like they produced late into the season. A lot of our other tomatoes suffered from blight. These are so great. These are so great, and they are absolutely a fan favorite for sure. Everyone that tried them said they just tasted amazing, and they produced really well. Plumsicle. This is a fun name. It is an MI Gardner exclusive variety. It is indeterminate, and the reason why we call it plumsicle is because it is a plum tomato, but it's got this real elongated kind of icicle shape to it. It's got this point that just really stretches out. Don't let the picture fool you. They're not all that large. They are about 2 to 3 ounces in size, and they are indeterminate. They are stupidly productive. Stupidly productive. These were probably the third or fourth most productive tomato in our garden, and they were productive. If I recall correctly, from 5 plants in our trial garden, we got about I want to say I don't have the paper near me, but I believe it was 85 pounds I believe it was 85 pounds from 5 plants, which comes out to like let's just say like two and a half, or sorry, yeah, uh, 20, no, not 20 pounds, be like 20 pounds would be 100, probably like 15 pounds ish, about 15 pounds per plant. It's awesome. Like really good producer and small. So like to have small and big was awesome. Um uh yeah, I think it'd be about 15 pounds per plant if the math is serving correctly. 5 plants, about 83 pounds. Yeah. Um okay, yeah. So obviously, yeah, so Fatima's roots here, just gonna highlight, yeah, yeah, there you go. $4 with a sad face. They've got to be. They've got to be. They were going to be 5 seeds for $2, but everybody wanted 10 seeds for $4. You're essentially getting 2 packs in one. You're consolidating packs. But these varieties are worth it. And also another point to point out, you guys, because people are joining all the time. People are joining all the time, and they're leaving and joining and joining and leaving. You're getting 10 seeds. Our average germination rate is 85%, sometimes higher. 80 to 80, 80% on the low end, 90% on the high end, sometimes 95% even, but we aim for about 85 to 87% germination rate on our tomato seeds. That means in a pack of 10, you're going to get 8 tomato plants. 8. 8 tomato plants for $4. You're not buying a tomato this rare, this amazing, anywhere at a nursery for $4. You're going to spend $4 to $5 on a single plant. You're getting like 8, and again, that's just something to justify. Not throwing shade at anybody. Not throwing shade at anybody for the price. Obviously, everyone has their own price point, but I'll tell you, we can't offer them for less. We literally will be out of business if we offer them for less, and that's just the sad reality about it. Is if we offered them for less, we'd be flat out of business. They're too expensive to produce right now until we recoup some of our cost, and then obviously then we can lower the price a little bit. And that will come with time. All right, let's keep moving on. Olive Shades Patio Tomato. This is such a freaking cool tomato. Such a cool tomato. So this is a patio tomato. That means it does not require any support. It is a dwarf determinant, meaning most of the tomatoes will produce and ripen within the same time frame. The plants are only going to be like 2 to 2.5 feet tall. They require no staking. You can if you want, but they don't require any staking. They stay low and compact, and the tomatoes are big, really big. The foliage is so dense and gnarly and green and lush. They're a fun one to grow, and these would be great on any patio. They'd be great in any container. They are awesome, absolutely awesome, and I highly recommend that you try these if you're low on space or you're growing in containers. This is a really cool one. It's really cool. The flavor is a bit tough to describe. It's like a very classic tomato. And don't take this the wrong way. Please don't misconstrue this, because I think the flavor is awesome. But it has a bit of almost like a bell peppery skin taste. Does that make sense? Like kind of that. I wouldn't want to say grassy, because then half of you would just be like, click off. Ah! I don't want that tomato. No, it's not grassy. It's just kind of like maybe like vegetative. Kind of tastes like a green bell pepper almost. It's so good. It's so unique. I love the tomato. I kind of ate into our profits a little bit. Because it's a larger tomato. I sliced them up and threw it on a tomato sandwich at the farm because I wanted to taste it, see what it tastes like. And then I liked it so much, I ended up making another tomato sandwich the next day. So don't come at me. Don't come at me. I did save a lot of seeds for you guys, but they were real good. They were real good. So that's the olive shades patio tomato. And let's see here. Lemon King. So Lemon King is an Oxheart style tomato. So it's very like meaty. When you cut through it, there's not a lot of gel, not a lot of seeds. And the picture of this does not do justice for just how hefty this thing is. We regularly harvested the Lemon Kings that easily weighed a pound and a half. They were big, big tomatoes. They were very nice size. And so yeah, it's really unique. The shape, the color, they're a creamy yellow, and they have this slight purpley top to them. They're just very, very cool. And so the reason why we called them Lemon King is because they're really yellow, like lemony yellow. Again, the lighting in this picture, ideally, we probably should have had a different lighting for this. It's a little bit washed out. We do our own photography. Mary actually, who works with us, does the photography. She does a phenomenal job. But any photographer knows that sometimes you can't pick the environment that you shoot in. So sometimes it can be a bit washed out. We don't take photographs in like a studio. We just kind of photograph them in a nice bright area. So if the sun's out, it got a little bit washed out. It's more of like a Meyer lemon. If you've seen a Meyer lemon, that's the color that they are. It's like a true lemony lemon yellow, which is very, very unique for a tomato. But then you get this kind of purple top, and they are slightly citrusy. They do have a very slight citrus, almost kind of pineapple tropical fruit flavor. And I think you guys would really love this one for sure. Now, Midnight Plum. Midnight Plum is not to be confused with Blackout Roma. The reason why we call it Midnight Plum is because it is a red to dark purple plum tomato. It's a hefty, hefty tomato. So the Midnight Romas, they're going to be like 3 to 5 ounces. These are 4 to 6. So they're like probably 30%, 40% larger in size. They are so good. They have a slight smokiness, that's very slight smokiness that you get. And again, for those that are new that did not hear this before, when I say smokiness, I don't mean like bonfire smoke. I mean kind of like a poblano pepper. It just has that hint of, it's like when you add just a little bit of something to your soup and someone goes, I can't put my finger on it. It's just kind of, it's there, but it's not identifiable. It's kind of a very slight hint of like smoky umami that balances the savoriness. It's just so good. So good. And so yeah, that's the Midnight Roma. Now it is an indeterminate, so it produces all season long. And also what's great about it is it's a heavy yielder. It's a very heavy yielder. So you get them, they ripen as they form, but they are a really heavy producer. So you get a lot on them. We grew in our trial garden, we grew 10 plants, and on 10 plants, we averaged about 12 pounds per plant. So that's again kind of right up there with like that's a very good yield, 12 pounds per plant. If each tomato weighs, let's say, 4 ounces, there's 12 ounces in a pound. That's 3 tomatoes per pound. And then you're getting 12 pounds on average. So it's like 36 tomatoes per plant is how you kind of can look at that. 36 tomatoes per plant that's awesome. It's really good. That's a really good yield, 36 tomatoes, especially here in Michigan. Our growing season is not as long as I wish it was. So 36 tomatoes is pretty darn good. All right, Gold Zebra, one of my favorites. Wow. Everybody say it with me. Wow. This is the showstopper. Like this is the prettiest tomato that exists. Wow. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It is beautiful. So this was actually a cross. So this was a cross. It was a cross between a green zebra. So the green zebra gives it that kind of like stripiness. There's a green zebra that was crossed with a blueberries tomato. Green zebra and blueberries. What a unique cross. What a unique cross. And it's an heirloom, so you can save the seeds from it. Just because I say it's been crossed does not mean it's a hybrid. It was at one point, but the hybrid has been stabilized and you can save the seeds from it from year to year. Yeah. Wow. So good. Wow. Like I'm gonna hide my face for a second and like go full screen. Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. Like, wow. Wow. Wowsy wowzerton. What a flippin' beautiful tomato. So beautiful. So stinking beautiful. My gosh, it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. The streaking, and we don't see in this picture, sweetness that's out of control. So sweet, so low acid. Every tomato was like, it was like they were made on an assembly line. You pull them off the plant and they had this adorable little like gnarly top to them. Like it was just like almost cartoonish. Wow. Like cartoonish top. Like let me cartoon. Look at it's like cartoon. Explain that to me. It's so freaking beautiful. So beautiful. And on top of that, not only is it super cool, it's super uniform, but also on top of all of that, what you don't see is this like little hint of gold fleck. It looks like someone took gold dust and goes on the tomato that sparkles in the sun. It's like golden, hence golden zebra. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's like the most beautiful tomato I've ever seen in my entire life. It's beautiful. So beautiful. All right. Moving on here. Okay, Cherokee lime stripes. This is not new to the tomato world. It's just new to MI Gardener. Cherokee lime stripes uh, is a really large tomato. So it's like a kind of like a beefsteak slicer. It's fairly juicy for a beefsteak, but it is really really cool. Now when it ripens, you get this like bullseye purple in the center, and it's this dark olivey green yellow stripy. It's like citrusy and fruity. Yeah, Cherokee lime stripes is stunning. It is stunning, stunning, stunning. It's beautiful. It's so pretty and it's so flavorful. Um, so it's got a slight kind of purpley blush on the bottom. The green to yellow transition gives it that really kind of almost like green tomato acidity. It's got like that good citrusy, sour, almost sour acidicness to it. It's just phenomenal. Yeah, it's just remarkable. It's a very cool tomato. It's very cool. I absolutely love it. Um, Ruby red slipper. This one, again, okay, the name. There's a tomato out there called Ruby Slipper. These are heirlooms, and when something fits, it fits. Ruby Slipper looks nothing even like a slipper. I'll be honest. I'm not trying to throw shade at the breeder that named it. That's fine. It's like, in art school, our art teacher said, draw the mountains. So I drew the mountains. And she said, is that, those don't look like mountains. Those kind of look like little hills. And I said, well, that's what mountains look like to me. And that's the amazing thing about heirlooms is like you're gonna find something that looks like something to every. You might not think that looks like a slipper. I think it looks like a slipper. I think it looks like a ruby red slipper. And to someone else, it might look like I don't know. It might look like a toe that you slammed it in the door and it's swollen. The swollen toe tomato. Okay. So that's why you're going to see some crossover, and there are people that have written in saying like, I can't believe you named that because it's so similar to the other one. And it's like I'm just saying the reason why we named this is because it looks like a ruby red slipper. It's so incredibly beautiful, and and it's productive. It's really productive, and the reason why it's very unique is because it's got this little purple tinge to it as well. Good night, Geneva. It's got this purple tinge as the tomato ripens, and yeah, now you can't unsee the toe. You can't unsee the toe. That's sorry about that. You'll unsee it once you taste it. It's really good. It's got a good classic tomato flavor. It's got a lot of acidity, but it's also got a lot of sweetness, kind of a nice balanced flavor. So yeah, it's very unique, and it's low moisture, so it's kind of meaty. It's more of like it's more of a plum, than a paste. So it's not quite the same as aroma, but it's a smaller. It only usually gets like 1 to 2 ounces in size, so it's borderlining on like a pear tomato or grape tomato, but it doesn't have any of those same shapes. It's very, very, very unique, and so yeah, it is so. And as it says, it's got a slipper-like form that makes them instantly recognizable. Like it just is so striking. It's so unique. Yeah, you totally see the slipper. Yeah, it's just it's a slipper. It's a slipper. Um, you like I like that stubbed tomato. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That maybe we'll find some other unique ones and call one that. So next here, this is not new to the tomato world. This is just new to us. This is Rebel Starfighter. This one, people have said it looks like an eggplant. I can actually see that. It's really interesting. The tomato itself is unlike anything I've ever seen before. It has a zigzagged pattern. They are zigzagged, and hey, buddy, you want to come say hi? Of course you do. Come say hi. Hey, bud. Hey, do you like tomatoes? Do you like? Hey, do you like tomatoes? Okay. Hey, is it time for bed? I can tell because you're making noise. Are you ready for bed? Okay. All right. Go read a book. Go read. All right. Go. Bye. Okay. Goodbye. There you go. There's your little dude for the night. So yeah, he's ready for bed. He's been ready. So Rebel Starfighter has this really unique zigzaggy pattern. Let me see. Okay, like you can see it right here. Look at this. Look at the zigzags. You don't find it. I will say I have grown hundreds and hundreds of varieties of tomatoes. You don't find that zigzaggy pattern. I have not seen it in any other tomato variety. I don't know how that comes about, how that pattern comes around. They have this zigzaggy pattern. It's like gold underneath with green overlay and then a purple and red top. It's just unbelievable how beautiful it is. It's really beautiful. The zigzag is so, I've never seen a zigzag. Like I can't zoom in anymore. The zigzaggy pattern, like you can really see it here. look at the zigzaggy pattern. You can see the purple zigzags. Look at this zigzag. Oh my gosh, look at that zigzag. The zigzag is so interesting. If you look off to the right side, that right tomato, you can see that wow, wow. So cool. So cool. It's such a cool tomato. And then you have another one that has raised a little bit of uh, I wouldn't say raised a little bit of hoopla, but the name's Emerald City. There is another Emerald City tomato out there, but it's the full name is Emerald City Dwarf. This is not a dwarf tomato. This is an indeterminate. So by nature, it's not a dwarf tomato. It's not the same as Emerald City, and we don't call it Emerald City Dwarf. We call it Emerald City. And also, Emerald City is a green tomato, and it stays green. This is a green tomato that has yellow and green, as if it was the Emerald City. And then it's got purple shoulders. And this was the whole team. When we showed them this tomato, we sat down and said, what does this tomato look like? What does this tomato look like? And we were going to call it Oz. If I was Oz, I don't know, maybe. I said, well, it kind of looks like kind of the curtains. Like the guy throws, when the curtains pull back in The Wizard of Oz in the movie, there's smoke, right? There's smoke, and it's like this illumination. There's like the smoke behind the screen, the big guy's voice, like, what brings you here? Like the big booming voice, right? And then the curtains move, and it's just this little guy is moving all these strings. And the Emerald City, so like the smokiness is kind of that black purple, and then the yellow green literally just looks like the Emerald City. I mean, it looks like the Wizard of Oz. It's so cool. Oh my gosh. And then it ripens, so you get this like the reddish purple smokiness, but then you get the Emerald City, the green and the yellow checkered stripe. It's just wow. So cool. So cool. So yeah. So and it's totally different. It's totally different. You look at one picture, look at the other, it's totally different. Um, and so, it is not to be confused. They heirlooms, you're gonna see there. Look at apples, like I said, for instance. In apples, you got the gala, you've got the royal gala, you've got the honey gala. They're all gala. The person who named it gala isn't sitting there feeling hurt about it. And I think that that's something to note is like, it's an homage to something that it reminded you of. And that's one of the amazing things about heirlooms. As soon as we take heirlooms and we start giving them exclusive names, is when we really enter a very slippery slope. Because then that's where you start to get into like patented varieties. And I'm totally against that. I like things being open. I like things being open source. I like things being, there's no barriers. Because as soon as you can say, I named that, that's my tomato, no one else can name anything like it, that really sets a precedent where it limits the possibilities of what someone can say that it reminds them of. That's the whole. You can't be an advocate of heirloom but be against naming it of something that it reminds you of. It just doesn't. They have to go together. They have to go together. And so I just think it's so important that we make that distinction, that there are always going to be close proximities, maybe even similar names, maybe even the same name. In our apple orchard, in our 40-acre apple orchard, we have 2 Clifford apples. 2. One is a big red apple. The other one is a red-leafed apple. Both called Clifford. No one's feeling hurt by it. What you say, and this is what you say. If you look at beefsteak, right? There's a beefsteak, and then there's a yellow beefsteak. Is that the yellow beefsteak? They're both beefsteak, but is it the yellow one or the red one? If you look at Oxheart, or sorry, a Brandywine, there is so many strains of Brandywine. There's the Brandywine, there's the pink Brandywine, yellow Brandywine, Sudeth strain Brandywine. There's the potato leaf versus non-potato leaf. They both look identical. The only thing different is the leaf shape. That's it. And so, when it comes to how we name, uh, we want to name things that are reminiscent of what they look like. Uh, so let's see. Yeah, no, Samantha. No, it would not make me upset whatsoever, because I would be able to see a distinction, because the difference between Royal Gala and Gala are different. And the difference between Emerald City and, even if you say it's Emerald City, they are different. The Emerald City tomato is just a solid green tomato that ripens to a slight yellow. There's no purple involved. And it's a dwarf tomato. It stays compact. So you just simply ask. You could ask. You say, is this the smaller? Is this the dwarf Emerald City, or is this the non-dwarf Emerald City? Pretty simple. I don't see why anyone would be offended by asking a question. If you didn't care, you wouldn't care. But if you really care, you'd care enough to ask. Just like I have to be clear when I ask, is this Brandywine? Is this Brandywine the potato leaf variety, or is it not? It's this simple. Just a question. But there's a very clear distinction between the two. So let's not try to fool ourselves, okay? Got it. So final thing I want to talk about here is the game. So you guys love the game, and you guys said you wanted to hear more about it. So I thought I'd spend some time talking about the game before we hang out for 5-10 minutes and call it good. So real quick too. So let's see here. So the Gold Zebra, how does it taste? Very low acid. It is very, very low acid. It's very sweet. And the blueberries tomato doesn't really provide any of that kind of grassiness or smokiness. Like there's a little bit of purple to it. So there's a wow, I don't know what happened there. My bad. Sorry. I went to show you my screen and I accidentally left. It left. I'm back. Don't leave. So, yeah, I'm back. I was just practicing my disappearing act. That's right. I'm just practicing my disappearing act. I was going to show you I was talking about the flavor of the Gold Zebra. You get the sweetness, you get the coloration, but you don't get much of the flavor that comes in from the blueberries, which is what it's crossed with. And so yeah, it's just very sweet. It's very low acid. It's kind of creamy, very thin skin, so it doesn't crack really easy, but it gives way when you bite it really easily. Just gives way when you bite it. It just kind of, it's got a real clean, nice, smooth bite to it. I found myself eating way too many of these. I had probably 8 or 10 the first day they ripened. I found myself eating quite a few. So I need to know what they taste like, and I need to be able to give a good description. So The first time I tried it, I was like, oh, man, I forgot what it tastes like. I better have another one. So, yeah. So the game. You guys loved the game, but there was a lot of questions about the game. So first question is the game yours? The answer is yes. Yes, the game is ours. We spent 2 years, Cindy and I spent 2 years perfecting the game. I've got it right here. Man, it is so cool. So the game is called Growing Season. Just want to make sure everything was in there first. The game's called Growing Season. And it is a, let me see here. I'm going to, can you read it okay? There we go. Read it better now. Nice. Didn't realize I was mirrored the whole time. Oh, it's because I left and then I came back. That's why. Okay. So it's called Growing Season. And Growing Season is a card game. It's intended for 2 to 6 players. And it's meant to be a fast-paced card game. Now, what I love about Growing Season is the fact that it combines all my favorite games like Uno and Monopoly Deal. Monopoly Go is a very fast-paced Monopoly game. It's an element of chance, but also an element of strategy. You don't want to let all your cards down. You don't want to play a card too soon, but you also want to hold enough cards that you can protect yourself. And what's great is that it's a competition against other farmers or other gardeners, but it's a farming game. And basically, we can open it up and talk about it since we didn't get to do that on for launch day. So the back here says, "Welcome to Growing Season, a game where players step into the role of farmers working to grow and protect their crops. The goal is to be the first to complete 3 harvests, each made up of 4 matching crop cards. Along the way, challenging weather, pests, and other players will test your strategy and timing, but only the most prepared grower will succeed." Pretty cool. Really super cool. Really cool. So there is also, look at that. Look at the quality. Put it up against Cards Against Humanity. Put it up against, name a card game. Exploding Kittens. Uno. I mean, it's nice. Really nice. Cool. Farm Race to the Finish. Growing Season. Got your rule card here. This gives you instructions on how to play. This is actually going to be getting even better, by the way. So this this sample here came from the card manufacturer. This is on pre-order currently. So if you order this, it's going to be shipping sometime in early December. We had a couple of final iterations that we just kind of took some feedback and threw it in there. And so it's only going to be getting better. And super not papery, beautiful, thick card. It's great. So it has got, so basically I'll kind of go through the rules here. You can maybe see if this sounds like a fun game for you. And then I can show you some of the cards, kind of go through it. And so the setup, so to start the game, shuffle the main deck and the condition cards. So you've got here, got 2 different cards. You have condition cards, and you have your main deck. These are known as harvest cards. So you have your main deck and your condition cards. You put them separately and you shuffle them. Each player draws 5 cards from the main deck. You choose a starting player. Leave space in front of each player for their field. So your field is where you put your matches. This is where planted crops will go. Then, how to play. You first draw, when it's your turn, you draw a condition card. And in this case, the condition card was Heat Wave. Now, Heat Wave is all farmers must remove 1 cool weather crop from their field. The stopper for this is shade cloth. So if you have in here, there's going to be a couple shade cloth cards. You can either hold on to it, or because you're only allowed to hold on to a certain amount of cards, you may be forced to discard cards, and then you may have to either discard it or lay it down, and that causes you to have to make some decisions on what are the chances of getting that card. You reveal the top of the condition card and read it aloud. This affects all farmers, so everyone in the area is affected by the condition. Second is you draw a card. So then you have 5 cards in your hand. You draw a card. You can play up to 2 cards, but so you can play up to 2 cards. Doesn't matter what you play. So you can play all crop cards or an attack card. You can also play a special card. So you have fertilizer, which allows you to draw 2 extra cards. You can play a pollinator card, which allows you to play 1 more card in your turn. So rather than lay 2 cards, you're laying 3 cards. There is farmer's market. The farmer's market allows you to plant any crop in your field. It's a wild card, so it becomes whatever crop you need. If you have 3 cucumber harvests, you play this, you've got yourself a harvest. This is a wild card. It's a really cool one. You have drought. You can give someone drought, and that causes them to skip their turn. You have lawnmower. We had to have something fun in here. It's good. Fun frustration is what they call it. So you get someone, right? You give them a heat wave, you get a heat wave. They've got shade cloth. You've got you give them let's see, give them a rabbit, right? You give them a rabbit. They've got chicken wire to stop it. They've got everything. You can't stop a lawnmower. You can't stop a lawnmower. So a lawnmower just mows over their deck. There's only 2 of them in the deck. So they're very, when you get them, you hold on to them. Now here's the thing. You don't always get to choose sometimes. So there's a crop swap card. And this is every player gives a card of their choice from their hand to the player to the left. So you take a crop card. It might be, let's say it's there's a lot of cards in here. Let's see. Some beans. Okay, so let's say you got beans in your hand. The risk is that you obviously wouldn't want to give a bean to someone that has a whole bunch of beans. But what if they're holding beans in their hand? In their hand, you can't see what they're holding. Do you give them a bean? There's a chance you give them a harvest, and you didn't even know it. So there's that element of kind of fear there, which is really fun. And that's crop swap. Then you have crop steal. And crop steal is you take 1 crop card from any farmer's field. So as long as it's not a harvest cannot be broken up. A harvest has been completed, and you cannot break it up. You cannot destroy a harvest. But if there are 3 or less in their field, you can say, you know what? I want that crop, and you can steal it. There is flood, which causes you to miss a turn, skip a turn. There is a CSA, which stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And this allows you to collect 1 card from each farmer's field, but they choose which one they give to you. So if their field is full of different crops, you play this card, and they take their crops from their field and add it to your field, that's a cool card. Love that one. Then you have bumper crop. Bumper crop allows you to play one more card in your turn, similar to pollinators. And here's the thing. This is what's fun too. Farm hands. So farm hands allows you to blind pick a card from your opponent's hand. You select anyone in the room that's playing, and you say, okay, I'm going to play farm hands. They hold their hand up like this, and you go, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I want this one. They don't get to say yes or no. That's just the luck of the draw. There are pests like hornworm. So these, you can play these on your opponent. If they have a tomato crop, you can play this. Now, if they have BT, that's the stopper. You see BT there. Hold on, don't glare on me. There you go. BT, that's the stopper. What game are you playing? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry that you're new here. We're playing. This is growing season. This is our game. Cindy and I developed this game. Over 2 years, we developed this game. It is an M.I. Gardner original game, and it is available for pre-order over at migardner.com. You can get it. We ship it. We're hoping to ship it out in early December, so you have guaranteed delivery by Christmas. So that's yeah. So you give someone hornworm. Now here's the thing: if they don't have hornworm, if they don't have a stopper, if they don't have BT, they have to engage with that right away. So they lose one from their field right away. And this stays in their field just as it would normally. It infests their crop, slowly diminishing their crop until either the next turn rolls around. If they draw 2 and they get BT, they can stop it. They don't lose another tomato card. But if they don't draw a BT card, a stopper card, they then have to forfeit another one of their tomato crops until either their tomato crop is wiped out completely or it gets stopped. Once the crop gets wiped out completely, the hornworm goes away. And then they can restart. Now here's the strategy. Sometimes you might want to start 2 different rows of crops. You might want to start 1 row of tomato over here and 1 row of tomato over here, because only 1 row can get attacked, right? Only 1 row can get attacked. So you can actually start 2 as a defense, which is really cool. Then there is a rabbit card. Rabbits attack lettuce and broccoli. The stopper is chicken wire and a live trap. Birds. By the way, all of the illustrations were done by our friend Beatrice. She actually hand drew these. She hand drew these. So cool. So that affects corn. The stopper for that is scarecrow. Deer. This attacks lettuce, cabbage, beans, and broccoli. The stopper is electric fence and a scarecrow. Recommended starting age for this game would be probably 8 years old. Our daughter's 9, and she has no problem playing. She loves playing this game. So she, just gets it, no problem at all. Oh my gosh, I just saw, okay, I'm so sorry. August Train 5500 says, please give away a free game to a young gardener who might enjoy it. Thank you so much. We absolutely will. We absolutely will. That is amazing. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for that $25 donation. That is really, that is super sweet of you. Thank you so much. We'll definitely do that. Absolutely, we'll do that. There's cabbage moth. Cabbage moth affects cabbage. The stopper is BT. And what you're noticing here is that it's accurate. The game is meant to not only be like real life, but it's also meant to play like a real game. So you play it and you learn. So not only are you becoming a smarter gardener, but it's a great learning tool and it's a fun time to pass the time. And there's the dreaded squash bug. This affects one farmer's squash crop. You can lay this on a squash crop. Stopper is BT. Then you have dual cards. So let's say I have a field of corn. I get this. I don't want it to be lettuce. Flip it. Play it as corn. Or maybe I don't have any corn, but I have a field of lettuce and I want to get a harvest. Flip it. Play it as lettuce. Once a dual card has been selected, it's locked. You can't change it later when you change your mind. Like if you started getting a stockpile of corn, once you've made it a lettuce card, it stays a lettuce card in your field. Same thing with squash and corn. It could be squash, it could be corn. Broccoli, cucumber, could be either or. So we have a few of those dual purpose cards there. What else? Yeah, they were really cute illustrations. Thank you so much. Yeah, I did not do the illustrations. Our friend Beatrice did. Got a bean crop card. So you notice it says crop card. So those are crops you plant in your field. We got broccoli. There is squash. There's corn. And the idea behind the game is to get a match. You want to get a match of 4 crop cards. 4 crop cards gives you a harvest. Once you have a harvest, it cannot be broken up or destroyed. And that harvest, once you have 3 harvests, you win the game. It is harder than it looks, and it is very fun. It's also very frustrating because I'll tell you what, you get someone that likes to be competitive, and they will smite you. Ask me how I know. Tomato cards, tomato crop card. Is tomato cards, cucumber card. There's some stopper cards here. So there's the scarecrow stopper card that stops deer and birds. You have live trap. Live trap stops rabbits. You have electric fence, which stops deer. And these are these are cards you hold in your hand, you might have. So if someone plays deer and says, I see you're getting really close to having a harvest of cabbage, I'm going to put deer in your garden. Or I'm going to put deer in your field. You say, no. Play that. Stops it. No more deer. And then that thwarts it. The stopper card goes into the discard pile. So does the deer. And so you essentially use that card up. It gets used up, so that that's how the game keeps moving, and that also recycles cards, because cards will need to be recycled from time to time to keep the pace of play going. So that is that. It doesn't stay in your field the whole time. Then there is frost blanket that affects early frost. My apologies, early frost. So the frost essentially kills off your warm weather crops. There is chicken wire. Chicken wire stops rabbits. There's shade cloth, which stops a heat wave. And remember, heat wave is a condition card. So everyone, you flip this up. This is like the day's weather. Some days it's rainy, some days it's sunny, some days it's heat wave, some days it's frost. Then you have BT that stops your cabbage moths, squash bugs, and hornworms. And then got a lettuce crop card. Lettuce, cabbage. Yeah, cabbage. Cabbage crop card. More beans, more beans, more beans. So those are all the cards. Those are all those. then you have your condition cards. You'll notice here, the box has a divider. Very nice. The condition cards, because there's less of them, are on a riser. So these, this. These are your condition cards. They get recycled all the time because it's basically like you flip a card over, and when you're done, you shuffle it, and everyone plays again. So this has got a riser here. Card here, so this is deeper, and this is the divider. So, ooh, thank you. Come on. Whoa. I know you're not feeling the best. This is my gardener's feeling a little bit under the weather. Look what she just brought me. Nana bread. What's better than banana bread at work? You ever heard that before?
No.
Banana bread at work? And you warmed it too? Excuse me? Love you too. Yum. Okay. So, sorry, my gosh. Oh, I am lucky. Don't you know it? I'll never forget it. So, condition cards. These are cards that you flip up. It might be a heat wave. So that's, I said, all farmers remove one cool weather crop from their field, unless you have shade cloth. Another heat wave. They're not shuffled, so you're going to see some repeats because they're not shuffled. Powdery mildew. The stopper for that is fungicide. So all farmers with squash or cucumber crops remove one crop from your field unless you have fungicide. Powdery mildew. Powdery mildew. Powdery mildew. Rainy day. So rainy day is wonderful. You might not have a great time in your garden, but your plants love it. So this allows you to pick one card. Everyone picks one card from the deck. So everyone picks one card from the main deck. Everybody does, because everybody benefits from a little rain. There's blight. So blight comes in and affects all the farmers there. All farmers with tomato crops remove one crop from the field unless you have fungicide. Cindy does rock. Cindy does rock. That's right. Hear that? They say you rock. She says I rock too. She said you rock. She meant you rock. Late frost there. So if you have frost blanket, you can protect it. This affects one warm weathered crop. So that could be tomatoes, it could be cucumbers, it could be squash, one warm weather crop. And then there's sunny day. Sunny day is the skies are clear, nothing happens. Nothing happens at all. It's just, that's what it is. And you're going to find that there's a decent amount of sunny day in here because there's often more sunny days than there are bad days in the garden. So these are just days where nothing happens. So those are your sunny days. Yep. Sunny days there. Like I said, a good amount of sunny days because the larger percentage of days. We actually did the math. We looked at during the course of a growing season, roughly what is the percentage of rainy days to sunny days? And then we kind of just did that as like your baseline. So that's accurate. It's not exact, but it's accurate. And so those are the cards. So then, so you can play up to 2 cards, plant a crop, you can add it to your field, play a pest, you can attack a matching crop type in another player's field. That player has a chance to defend with a stopper. This blocks a pest or a condition. Then there is play in action. So you can use cards like crop steal, your CSA, your crop swap, but you can only play 2 cards. unless you have that other card which allows you to play 3 cards. There's play a wild crop. So this counts as a crop, that's CSA, or the dual purpose card. Now, attacks and defense. Pests target specific crops. If not stopped, it will stay in that. The pest, if not stopped, will stay on the crop until either the pest is stopped or the crop is wiped out. Each turn is one crop card. The defenders, so if you get attacked, you must address that card immediately, even if it's not your turn. As I said, harvest and winning. So a harvest equals 4 matching crop cards. Wilds do substitute as a crop card. Once you have a harvest, it cannot be broken up. It cannot be hit with a lawnmower. It cannot be hit with pests. Condition cards don't matter. You have harvested it, and therefore it is done. It is out of your field. You stack finished harvests beside your field, so they are protected and they are yours. The first player with 3 harvests wins the game, and it is a really simple game. Very fun, very fast paced. It's a riot. The strategy is you can mix crops early to avoid full losses, save stoppers for the right time, but because you can only have 6 cards in your hand, that prevents, 7 cards in your hand, because you can only have a maximum of 7 cards, you can't just keep stashing cards forever. You eventually are going to have to discard something or play something, and that keeps the game going. You can target players that are close to winning, use your wild cards wisely, and make sure you watch what other people are planting in their fields. It is a load of fun, and the approximate time to play the game is roughly 20 to 30 minutes. It's a good quality card game. It's not a crazy fast-paced game, so it doesn't give you anxiety, but it does have a good pace of play, which allows you to have a really enjoyable experience. And so that is growing season. Now, you can order it over at migardener.com. Like I said, it's available for pre-order. Look at that. Oh, one more time. Listen to this. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it's crispy. So good. The tolerance on this is just, ooh, man. Quality. Like we do with everything. Look at the wrap on the inside. Look at that. Full wrap. Inside and out. All angles. Quality. Quality, quality, quality. You can pre-order Growing Season over at migardener.com. Shameless plug. It is a ton of fun. It's one of the only true farming games that I have found that actually not only is accurate, but also is also fun. There's a lot of times learning games or educational games that are like, okay, maybe the kids will enjoy it, but not really. We played this with our whole family, adults, kids alike. Everybody has a ton of fun. Everybody has a ton of fun. It's a lot of fun. And what's great is that this comes with free shipping. The ship's free. You get this, it's $24.95. It is free shipping. So definitely recommend picking it up. It is a really good value. And also, the cards are really high quality as well, if I haven't said that enough. Look at this. They are very nice. They are coated linen, so they have a great feel to them. They have rigidity, but they could be played again and again and again. Really, really nice. Super nice cards. Let's see. You just pre-ordered? Awesome. Let's go. My family loves apples to apples. They're going to love this game too. You just pre-ordered? Thank you, Emily. Appreciate that. Oh, man. That's great. That's great. Let's see. Any t-shirts for this year? So MI Gardner has seriously consolidated the number of t-shirts that we have just because t-shirts are very low margin for us and they do sell, but the time that it takes to sell them was really was a long time. So we do have some merch over at migardner.com if you're looking for t-shirts or sweatshirts. We have a few of our best sellers, but those are it. We are bringing those back in stock also. We're bringing the t-shirts and stuff back in stock that we have, but we're not adding new ones. We're not expanding on that because we did that. We had a time for that, and that ship has sailed. We've definitely been able to consolidate our efforts, and it's really helped to streamline our operations. And so I appreciate that. And there definitely are some over at migardner.com. But it's we're just kind of consolidated. So cool. Congrats on its completion. Yeah, 2 years. 2 years in the making. We put so much time, so much just I wouldn't say blood, but sweat and tears. Definitely sweat and tears for sure. Definitely sweat and tears have gone into this. It is it is I mean it's such a fun game. So cool. Are you getting the Sugar Rush stripe peppers back? We will be having some back in stock, not many. It was a very tough year for growing peppers this year. Very, very tough. Tomatoes did great. Peppers did really good depending on the variety. Some varieties did phenomenal. Other varieties did not do phenomenal. So we will have some Sugar Rush stripy peppers in. They're just going to be a little bit late this year. Oh, that's awesome. There you go. Welcome to my Cape Cod life. Just pre-ordered. You're going to love the game. You're absolutely going to love the game. Oh, North Star Prepstetter. Let's go. North Star Prepstetter's got the game. We're going to be playing. We should, you know what we should do? We should have, once everyone's got the game, we should all have a live stream where we all play the game. That'd be really fun. I think it would be fun to do a live stream where we play the game. You guys are all playing the game, and we kind of all play together. It'd be a lot of fun. Sabriel Brocker, I think Sabi Brocker, ordered for my daughter. I'm sure she's gonna love it. I'm sure she is going to love it. That's right. I got my eyes on those tangerine cream and boundlicious tomato varieties. You sure do. Those two are good. Those are good tomato varieties. Would be cool to have some expansion packs. That's a good idea. It's a great idea. It's certainly something that as the game gets out there, that's something that we'll definitely keep in mind. We'll definitely keep in mind to add some expansion packs. Maybe add a few more crops. Maybe add a few more stoppers. Who knows? It'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to do that. Actually, that's a great idea. I love that feedback. Let's see. Good question, Deadeye Joe. So how do plant breeders breed for disease resistance? Well, basically what happens is you find a variety. What they literally do, it sounds crazy, they subject them to the disease. They have rows and rows and rows of different tomatoes. And then what they do is they literally take a disease. It could be powdery mildew, it could be early blight, fusarium wilt, whatever. And they actually will inoculate the plants with the disease. And the plants that survive and thrive in the presence of the disease are more disease resistant. And so then what they do, the other ones die, the other ones, they might die a little, and others don't die at all. Those ones are the resistant varieties. So then they take that resistant variety and they cross it. They cross it with other tomato varieties to make a hybrid. Now that hybrid, they will subject that to the disease. And if the plant survives, if it retains that disease resistance, then that tomato will also be disease resistant. They will then stabilize those genetics or keep it as a hybrid. And that is how you get disease resistant varieties. It is by literally subjecting them to the very disease. Same thing with drought resistance. They will put them in, they will not water them at all. The ones that wither and die versus thrive, those are drought tolerant. And so that can breed new varieties of drought tolerant varieties of tomato through trial and error. Oh, thank you so much, Tara. Hello from Tennessee. Love your seeds. I love you, Tara. Love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going up on just a little over 2 hours we've been hanging out. Just a little over 2 hours. We're going to give it 9 more minutes and we're going to head out here. We're going to head out at 9:30. So we got some time. We got a little bit of time left. Yes, good question, Shelly. Are all the new tomato varieties heirlooms? They sure are. They are all heirlooms. You can save the seeds from year to year, and that will give you it's a stable genetic. It's stable genetics. Um, yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, no, Bob, absolutely. I will show you 1 second. Bob wants to see how to order. So bear with me here. We can do this. So pretty simple. Are you talking about ordering the game or ordering in general? It doesn't really matter. It's all the same, I guess. So Bob, here's what we'll do. So, okay, so let's say you're shopping for seeds here. They're all seeds. And by the way, for anyone else watching, there are $2 seeds still. The price has not changed. The price is going up next year by 25 cents, just so you guys know. Next year, seed packets will be $2.25. We basically just said, look, this year we're eating the cost. This year we're eating the cost. We've heard from a lot of you guys that are on, you guys are on a limited budget, and you really were fearful of inflation and prices going up. And I said, look, hey, we'll eat the cost this year. We can't eat the cost next year because we already ate it last year. And so we want the economy to kind of improve a little bit. We want your sentiment to improve a little bit. We want your financial standing to improve a little bit. So we are eating that cost. We want to aim for around 50% margins because that's what keeps the lights on and that's what keeps staff fed, our staff members' lights on, and the cost of living. You know, so we gotta get at least 50% margins. That's like kind of our target is 50% margins. That's gross margins. So that's Uncle Sam still takes a cut of that too. And that's before we even take anything home. So you know it's really important we do that. So next year, seed packets will be going up to $2.25. This year, we're eating the cost. Our margins this year are right around 40%. So we're just eating that margin cost, and that's okay for us. We want to make sure that you guys have affordable, high-quality seeds. So Bob, here's how you order. So it doesn't really matter what you want to get. Any description, you go here. If it's available, you can add it to your cart. So you click add it to your cart. It's going to show up here. Okay, you can add a few other things. Let's add some basil real quick. Any basil you want, right? So we're going to add some basil. We're going to add that to the cart. So now, let's say you're done shopping. So that pops up. You can check out from there, or you just go to here, go to your cart, click this little icon right here. Click that. It's going to drop it down, and it's going to allow you to check out. So it's going to allow you to check out here, which is going to take you to checkout. And so this is going to be your checkout. You're going to put your email. You're going to put your delivery. If you're local, you can do pickup. This option may not be available to you, Bob, if you're not local. I don't know where you live, but you can always do in-store pickup. And that means that we will pull your order, have it available within 24 to 48 hours, and you can pick it up right in store and you don't have to pay the shipping. You put your stuff in there, your shipping address, your payment information. We don't save credit card information, so your credit card is very safe, but you can also use other forms of PayPal. We even accept crypto. We use Shopify. So Shopify basically is, you could use whatever form of payment you got. And So you can even send a check or money order. Lots of people prefer to do that. You can create an account if you want. That's how you gain points. And you click pay, and it's that simple. Now, you get free shipping on seed orders of $20 or more. So if you put 10 packs of seed into your cart, puts it over $20, you're going to get free shipping. So that is how it's really, really simple to shop and add things to your cart and check out. Mm. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, North Shore Prep Center, good question. Yeah. So, on average, how many seed packets do you sell each year? So it kind of depends, um, you know, depending on the year, depending on, you know, how many, if we run a good sale or whatever, it goes up every year. But generally, like last year we sold about 300,000 seed packets through MI Gardner. So that was a really good year. We it was down a tinge from our high of 2024, which in 2024 we sold about 2% more than that. So we're hoping it goes up every year. That's the hope. That's the goal. Um, and so yeah, and obviously, mind you, you're probably doing the math. Wow. We were a small company. We have 34 team members. We pay very, very good wages for our team members, well above national averages. And many of our team members, you know, the average at MI Gardner average wage is $17 an hour. And so we're very proud of that. Very, very proud of our wages as a small company. I mean, it's very difficult to find incredible people, and it's very difficult to find 34 incredible people. So yeah, yeah. So we do our very, very best to try to make it all work. So um, yeah, yeah, and honestly too, we like I said, we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate to be able to have an awesome community that loves what we do, and we just try our best to do our very best every day. Do you have any remote temp jobs? No, unfortunately, we don't do remote. We are very, very picky about in person. It allows us to have control over. Not that sounds bad. Allows us to have control. We're not control freaks, but we are control freaks over our quality control. Whether that be how a packet is packed, how a packet is shipped, the pace at which it is shipped, emails being responded to. We have a service with a smile protocol. I've always said that you can tell a smile through the phone, and so our staff, all of our staff, when they come in, if they are having even a 99% day, we see what we can do to get them at 100%, because you can tell someone that's at 99% versus telling someone that's at 100% happiness. We want people to be at 100% happiness. We also want them to leave at 100% happiness. It's very difficult to do that remotely because it's very difficult to have that line of communication. And then furthermore, when lines get crossed, it sometimes can be difficult to have good communication remotely. So everything is in person, unfortunately, nothing remote. Your website already says sold out of the royal paste tomato. Will you be getting more? Absolutely. We just have to pack more. It just, yeah. Everybody and their brother wants some. Everybody and their brother wants all the tomato varieties. So what I would say is, if you are looking to get that variety specifically, I'd give it a couple days to a week or so. We should have that variety back. We do have, excuse me, a decent amount of seed left to pack for that variety. We wanted to get some in stock so we could open the store, and then we pack more later. Let's see. Oh, my neck. Yeah, stiff. Will the free shipping be changing next year? No, no, won't be changing next year. We're still doing free shipping over $20. We're very happy with that. Doesn't need to be changed. It's always very funny when you see, you can do what you want with your business, but it's always very funny when you have especially a seed company that says, free shipping over $75. I'm like, the frick? I've never spent $75. What? Who do you take me for? Not everyone has $75 to spend on a budget just to get free shipping. So $75. Like I've seen 100 free shipping on $100. Oh, gee, Williker. Oh my gosh. It's like, no, $20. If your margins are good and you take care of your people, take care of your community, 20. To ship something lightweight, seeds are really lightweight. If you get fertilizer, if you get, like the game, the shipping is built in. But this game, I'll have you know, this game costs on average $8 to ship. $8, that's our cost. Our cost to ship it to you, $8 on average. It's a heavy game. It's heavy. It's a little over a pound. And that is not free. I think oftentimes we live in such a culture, thanks Amazon, where we think everything's free because Amazon Prime is free shipping, free shipping, free shipping. Someone somewhere pays for that shipping. However, with really lightweight seeds, it is very easy to, $20 worth of seed. It's gonna be 6 to 8 ounces. 6 to 8 ounces to ship it somewhere in the country. It's gonna average out at probably about $4. We eat that $4 because you spent $20 with us. That's incredible. We appreciate that. That's like more than we could ask for. It's more than we could ask for you to spend $20 at our little seed shop. And so we do free shipping, over $20 on seeds. Oh my gosh, what is this game? You just missed. You'll have to go back. Unfortunately, we spent a long time going over the game. This is an M.I. Gardner original game. Cindy and I, Cindy is my wife, we spent 2 years developing this game. It is now complete. It's available for pre-order. This is the copy that came from this is the not like rough draft, but like they wanted to make sure we okayed it before we kind of gave them the final copy, if you will. So this is the sample that they sent to make sure we loved it. We do love it. It's phenomenal. And you can go pre-order over at migardner.com. It's a fast-paced garden game for 2 to 6 players. Takes 20 to 30 minutes. And it's a riot. It's an absolute riot. It's a gardening-based game, so you can actually learn something and hit it. Are you still shipping to Canada? Yes, absolutely. We are shipping to Canada. Absolutely. We ship all the time. Closest variety to Sun Gold. I love the sweetness. Okay, I'll give you sweet. I'll give you sweet. Closest variety to Sun Gold. Closest variety to Sun Gold. Bada bing, bada boom. Sweetest tomato you ever come across. You won't find sweeter. It's sweeter than Sun Gold. It's sweeter than Sun Sugar. It's sweeter than Sun Ray. It's sweeter than whatever Sun tomato you want to grow. Sweeter than Super Sweet 100, Sweet 1000, Sweet 100, whatever you cannot throw a tomato at this that is sweeter than this tomato. If it's grown in the right conditions, fine print. Don't come after me if it's not growing in proper conditions. If it's growing in proper conditions, it is the sweetest tomato you will come across. I guarantee it, or your money back. Let's go here. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, champagne bubbles is way more prolific. Like the gift that keeps on giving. Champagne bubbles is They are tied. Tangerine Creme is a little bit larger. Champagne Bubbles is a little bit smaller. Tangerine Creme has a hint of citrusiness, almost like you bit in like a cutie clementine. So good. Champagne Bubbles is like a fruit. There's zero citrusiness at all. It's just like this sweet, mellow, wow. Wow. So good. So good. I love Champagne Bubbles too. Champagne Bubbles is great. Um, let's see. Did the disease package for Sun Gold transfer to Tangerine Crim? I would say so. It was pretty darn disease resistant. I don't know if it was maybe it might be comparable in disease resistance to Sun Gold. I don't want to say definitively, but in our trials, it was the second to last to die from just blight and the season getting cold and rainy and nasty. Second to last to die. So I would say honestly, I'd say pretty flippin' disease resistant. All right, we'll answer two more here, and I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna answer two more here because we're 6 minutes over what I wanted to do here. But everyone that's watching, thank you guys so much for spending time with me. If you're curious about any of the stuff we talked about, hung out with tonight, go check out migardener.com. We have the largest selection of heirloom and organically grown vegetable seeds. Not all of our seeds are certified organic, but they are all grown using organic methods, all of them. Um, all of our seeds do come with a 100% satisfaction guarantee for 2 years. Who does that? Nobody. That means if your seeds do not germinate at the level that is expected after 2 years, viability does decrease slightly. If the germination rate decreases past what is acceptable for 2 years, you write to us. Send us a message at customerservice@migardener.com, even if it was your fault. Even if it's your fault, we want to we want to be so different, so radically different from any other seed company out there that it almost begs the question: what is wrong with Emma Gardner? Like what is wrong in our heads? We're crazy. It's because we want to be the change maker in the community. We want to be a change maker for gardeners. We want to make you have the best experience possible with seeds. And if you have never tried our seeds, try them. We have the best selection, best quality, best price, and best staff to make your experience as amazing as possible. So, yeah, yeah. Um, Shelly Tadoff to watch back the first part of the live caught me off guard after last night's live. Yeah, we had two big live streams back to back. It's because I wanted to go through all the new tomato varieties. I wanted to go through the game. I wanted to be able to have a Q&A section because last night we did not get to have a Q&A. Can I say I'm sorry, you guys? Can I say I'm sorry? We did not get to have a Q&A, and that's why I did an extra long live stream for you guys so we can hang out together, engage, talk like we did normally at launch day. It's just it was so crammed, and we will definitely be doing a few things different next year so that we can have more time to hang out, more time for games, more time for giveaways. And that was definitely a bummer last night for sure, but that's why I'm here. What is the size of the Tangerine Crim? The Tangerine Crim is going to be it's going to be about the size, a little bit smaller than a ping pong ball, if that makes sense. So a little bit smaller than a ping pong ball. This, for example, to give you an example here, this little box that they're put in, that box is 5 inches by 5 inches. So that box right there is 5 inches by 5 inches. So that that one little tomato is probably maybe like inch and a half. They're fairly round, little oblong shape, but they are pretty uniform. So let's see. It is slightly larger than Sun Gold. It's slightly larger for sure. Yep, it's slightly larger. Not by much, but slightly. Um, Young Stomata. Young Stamata says, I'm ordering the game now along with seeds. Let's go. Let's go. Just remember, anybody that is pre-ordering the game, it is shipping in early December, hopefully. That's the hope. It's a pre-order. So we are ordering a large quantity of these games, and because of that, take some time to produce them. We are looking to get them in early December so we can guarantee get them to you by Christmas. But like I said, no promises on exact dates. It's a pre-order. It is a pre-order, just so you know. It is a pre-order. So, all right, we'll answer one more here, and then we are going to sign off. Let's see. Well, this one won't count, but Beth here says, I'd love to see a customer rating option on your app so we can read how growers like the different varieties. So we do have reviews. If you look at on the website, we do have reviews. The reviews, for the most part, are people sometimes review something before they actually try to grow it. That's the nature of a review. We are not able to delete reviews. So that is what, you do get some people that will say, hey, I'm so excited to try this, and they'll give it 5 stars. Well, if someone says, hey, I waterlogged my plants and I killed them, this variety sucked, I'm giving it 1 star. That's not our fault. But we can't delete it. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. It is what it is. You dilute the bad with the good, and sometimes there is some good that slips in there. But there is the review section if you want to check that out. That's a very helpful way to know if you're going to like something or not. But I do think it would be awesome if you leave a review. It'd be great if you said, I grew this in zone 5B, it grew great, or I grew this in zone 6A and didn't grow that great. Like that might be very beneficial actually to leave your zone. But we don't ever ask you to leave your zone because we don't ever ask for people to have. We don't want you to feel like you're giving away any personal information. So it's on you if you want to do that. But I think it'd be very helpful. All right. Also does not count as the last question, but yes, Tangerine Crim and all of our new tomatoes are heirloom. They're all heirloom. We sell 99% of our seeds are heirloom. 99%. We only have a couple that are not heirloom, and that's because they're just really, really good. They're really good. If you grow some of our sweet corn, 2 of our sweet corn are hybrid. Just 2 are hybrid, and then we have a couple flowers. Sometimes flowers are hybrids, but I want to say 2 of our flowers are hybrids. 2 of our sweet corn are hybrids, and I think that's it. Yeah, pretty few, very few. The rest are heirlooms. So, anyways, we'll do this last question here, and we'll sign off. Great question. Awesome. Do you think it'd be harmful to plant my garlic now in zone 5A? I've been sick. I hope you're feeling better. And I haven't had a chance. Worried they will die. Well, mountainside homesteading, I hope. Let me be the first to say, drink lots of water, get lots of rest, and grow lots of garlic, because garlic's really good for your immune system. Hope you're feeling better. But you absolutely can plant garlic right now. Garlic is better planted too late than it is too early. If you plant garlic too early, it's going to grow, it's going to get nice and tall and really big, and you're actually going to have decreased yields. It's actually better to plant it too late. If your soil is workable, if it is still somewhat not frozen, pop it in the ground. Consider giving it a little bit of mulch to put it to bed for the winter, and your garlic will do great. Don't panic if it doesn't sprout right away. Don't panic if the sprouts are teeny tiny. It'll do fine. It'll do absolutely fine. Consider sprinkling a little bit of powdered sulfur over the bulbs to keep them from rotting in the soil. But other than that, yeah, you're totally fine. We've planted garlic as late as mid-November, believe it or not. Mid-November was the latest we ever planted garlic. And it did fine. It did totally fine. So don't worry about it. Get your garlic in the ground, and that is that. So listen, guys and girls, it's been a ton of fun hanging out with you all. But I need to hit the hay. I need to go hang out with Cindy for a little bit before we go to bed. And yeah, I just appreciate it's such a fun time hanging out with you guys. You guys are such a blessing in my life. And I want you all to know that you are the best part of the gardening community. You guys are an amazing group of people. I love you all so very much. And I really hope that you have had an awesome time hanging out with me. I hope you got some of your questions answered. If you didn't, feel free to send us a message or send us an email. We'd be happy to help answer any questions you have. And yeah, we absolutely love you. We love you just the way you are. And I hope your gardens are doing amazing. I hope your gardens are just thriving and flourishing to the max. And if they're not, hopefully your dreams of gardening are flourishing to the max as well. Like right now, our gardens are kind of just almost done for the season. So our dreams of gardening are flourishing. We're getting so excited already for next year. Already the gears are turning. So hopefully either your garden's thriving and flourishing, or your dreams of gardening are thriving and flourishing. But either way, you guys are a blessing, and I appreciate all of you. So love you all so much. Have a wonderful evening, and be safe, be healthy. I'll catch you all later. So, all right, grow bigger, everybody. Love you all. See ya.